These are the sandpapers. The lower the number, the coarser the sandpaper is. If the wood grain is pretty clean, not a lot of tear out and stuff to like sand down, you can start sanding at 120 onwards. If you are sanding by hand, to start you can get a block of scrap. Just cut out a handy piece of scrap. You can flatten out one portion of the face with the coarser sandpaper. So to flatten, just get a white piece like this. So once you flatten out one side, that'll be the side where we lay the small pieces on it and use to sand on your workpiece. Because you're sanding on the inside face, early on inside face is what we use to demarcate the orientation of your workpiece. Before you start sanding, you may want to transfer your markings to at least the end grain of the wood for the tail side, so you can see which side matches which. Then for your shorter board, you can write around the end grain here. That way you won't lose track of your markings. So say this is board A, then you have AB for B this side, then AD for this side. Things that you want to sand are the parts in the middle for now. Things that you don't want to sand are the parts where it's going to join together, the joinery portion. So that'll be the tails, the stretch. You can tell from the knife line demarcated earlier on. So long you don't cross into there, you're fine. As for the shorter boards, that's of course the pin side of it. As for sandpaper wise, just with the block you made earlier, cup over it, sand along with the grain. So if at 120 grit it doesn't seem to remove certain flaws, step down to 80. Then once at 80 it looks even, bring up to 120, and then 240 and subsequently 400. For this top portion, quite straightforward. For the sides, you may want to use the corners. And let's do it like this. One thing to do when sanding here is you don't want to sand with it rolled down, else you will round this corner too much. Another way is to tear out a small strip of it, just scrub by hand. This one is going to be quite a bit more bumpy. For the bottom board, sand the inside and the outside as well. So at least for my piece, if there's a huge tear out here, to sand it even is going to be quite a big dip, so I'll likely just leave it. Fitting. You have a good check whether this is like thoroughly into the grooves, else if there's way too much protrusion than you intended it to be for, let's say like more than 3 mm, then when you put on the last board it will not sit in properly at all. In case where we carve the groove a little unevenly, some parts will go in more than usual. That's why you can see the difference between here and here, but it's still okay. So once fitted, they'll be like such. Make sure all the joints are fully in, no gaps. Edges here as well. Then of course use a long ruler to check whether the sides are all like even. If you want to forego the magnets, you can start to finish the project as per usual by sanding the outside. So I'm going to show you how to do the one with the magnets. So before you install the magnets, make sure you still have the line that you draw around here. If you don't, just draw a line here. That's for us to align the magnets. So how you draw it, just find a center line here, mark it at the edge, project down. So from here, figure out the halfway point. Same for this side. This is about 12, so let's take it as 6. Project it all the way to this edge. Okay, so same for here. So from this edge point, project it to the lid. Bring it down this stretch. It's going to be a bit hard to draw. When it comes to the small magnets, the more aligned it is, the greater the strength, the more positive the engagement will be. So before you start marking out this thing for the lid, of course all of this must be sanded. Then from the side here, this line we will project it up here, so it will intersect with this line that we drew earlier. It's quite a small space here to use a square and draw. Let's eyeball it, it wouldn't be that far off. So the magnets are pretty much this. They may come in various sizes. Do check before you start drilling. And of course, before you drill, do try and drill on a scrap or test first. So magnet is going to be of this kind of depth. This piece that I'm using is about 2 mm thick, 5.5 mm wide. So when it comes to drilling, you'll need a drill bit of that size. So how to limit the depth of your drill bit? Let's take a tape, measure out how deep you want to go, then put your tape around it. So now we start drilling. Check for the depth. So when you get a stack of magnets, just split it up in pairs. Then split them open without flipping the orientation. So you can also do a check. So these two faces should repel each other. This orientation, if you were to mount these two directly into here, then these two will need to go up into the board like that, just to mess up the orientation. maybe use something that's wood to pound it in, else you'll keep sticking to your hammer. Get it to the point where it's flush. Then of course the parts that stick, this will go this way up into your board. So make sure you get the board in the right orientation. This will be like that. Then this will be like this. So after you put in the magnets, you should get a pretty positive closure. So right now the fit is really tight. But once you're done sanding with the sides here, it will reduce a bit of the width. Then you can go in kind of like a drop fit, that kind of stuff. Here onwards, pretty much done. You just need to sand the outside to completion. So as for the inside here, you can use a small piece of sandpaper like this, just scrub, or you can wrap it around a pencil or anything that's cylindrical to scrub as well. And that's pretty much the end of this class.